love to play Tetris? If you do, you're probably an administrative professional who excels at calendaring. Love it or hate it, there are some tips that will make it easier, and I'm sure we all need to make calendaring easier. Our first tip was mentioned by many people, but I'll give credit to Tiffany Holland from Houston, Texas. Tiffany says she color codes everything. Color coding saves her every time, and it helps her team prioritize as well. I know that I also swear by color coding, and it's a quick way to look and see what I need to do, as well as knowing what's coming up in the days ahead, nice and fast. Preeti B from Toronto, Ontario has been adding more than appointments into her executive's calendar. She also includes reminders, breaks, brainstorming and planning time, as well as wellness time. Preeti says that she feels this enables the best use of time and fosters a greater success for her executive. Our third tip comes from Casey Forrester from Ottawa, Ontario. Casey says that she falls back into an old-fashioned technique, but it works out every time. She maps out her calendar 1 to 2 months in advance on paper. She says that some weeks and months are more tricky, but it always works out in the end. Michelle Morford from Marysville, Washington brings us number 4. Michelle says she loves categories in Outlook. Michelle needs to account for all of her time on a per project basis, so categories allow her to run a time tracking macro. Now she can easily scan her calendar for the highlights she needs to include in any monthly or annual report. Number 5 comes from Kim Picard from Ottawa, Ontario. When Kim is planning her annual reoccurring meetings, she tries not to book too much in the summer months because she knows that they will need time blocks for strategic planning and emergency meetings. Kim also recommends not to book a lot of meetings on Mondays and Fridays if possible. Our next tip comes from Rhonda Martin from Toronto, Ontario, who shares a great tip from her office. Rhonda has 2 Fridays a month that are no meeting days, which means they do not book meetings with each other, but external meetings may be approved. This gives everyone time to get things done. Marcia O'Hearn, also from Toronto, Ontario, says that when she emails clients to schedule meetings or calls, she always offers at least 2 or 3 options. Then Marcia blocks the options in the calendar so that others who have booked the manager's time for the internal meetings won't book the time while Marcia is waiting for the client to respond to her. Once the client confirms the meeting, she releases that time as it is not needed. Number 8 is from Carol Glass from Hampton, Virginia. Carol says that once a week, she will book a 90-minute session, typically on a Wednesday. This slot is reserved for high priority work time and for those short notice meetings that need to happen. If the slot is not needed, then it reverts to desk time for her executive, and it's a win-win scenario. Elizabeth White Peters from Stratford, Connecticut says that it's important for us administrative professionals to always schedule at least 15 minutes every morning, Monday morning, for us. Block the time so that others cannot assume that it's free to book, which forces them to let Elizabeth manage the time. And most importantly, we need to train our executives to communicate with their admin to let the admin manage the schedule. And number 10 comes from Janine Maffett from Atlanta, Georgia. Janine says the EA team at her office now uses quick Teams calls to set up complex or reoccurring meetings, which is a way more efficient use of time than a string of emails back and forth. I know that we are getting more and more artificial intelligence to impact on our calendaring, but until that is flawless, it's not quite there yet, we're still going to need to have some magic tips up our sleeve to manage calendars, especially multiple calendars. I hope these tips help you as much as they should. The trick is use them all. Good luck.